Welcome to a new series I'm doing on Empyrion Galactic Survival. This game actually was released on Steam just yesterday. That was August 5th, Wednesday. And I bought it on Steam, and I played through a couple hours of it, figured out how a lot of the gameplay works, and I realized it's actually a pretty good game to do a sort of survival type series in. So, let's go. This music is just epic, isn't it? Alright, so we're gonna call this world, let's call it Survival Series. Invalid name? Well, darn you. Let's just call it, this one. What? Why is this invalid? Oh, maybe because of the space. Let's fix that. That's better. In survival mode, there's only one starting location, but in creative, you got all these. But we're just gonna do survival because it's a survival series. So, Omicron. Omicron is a desert planet with mountain ranges, lakes, plains, and rugged terrain. The atmosphere is relatively thin and non-breathable. However, oxygen can be generated from the water of the lakes. The average temperature is around 32 degrees Celsius, which I think it's like 80 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. I could be wrong, I don't know, I don't really know my Celsius. And the gravity amounts to 9.8 meters per second. So, I think that's relatively close to Earth, because I think Earth is actually 9.3 meters per second squared. I could be wrong on that, it might actually be 9.8, I don't know. But, let's go. Not all creatures are hostile. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Just kidding, I did. I'm just being sarcastic. It's loading. It's loading screen. Ah, here we go. Alright, so, when you start off in the game, you start off hearing those annoying dinosaurs screech. I'm just kidding. What you basically do is you start off next to this escape pod thing. I know it's an escape pod. Okay, yeah, that's just me discovering an iron deposit. Oh, just so you know, as of now, the map is not procedurally generated. Like this world, this planet is the same every time you go to it. Like that big black structure over there, it's the same place every time. This lake over here, same place. The iron deposit, same place. So I know there's a copper deposit up there, magnesium over there because I've played this before, and over that way there's some silicon in like asteroids or something. But anyway, so the first thing you want to do, I think, is to come over to, I think it's this crate with T to open it. It's the other crate, this crate, and get these fuel packs. And fuel packs are your energy. In Interstellar Rift, it's equivalent to the hydrogen. Oh, and then each little component thing you have on your ship does a little different noise for when you open it or close it. The oxygen tank one I don't really like because when you go to the oxygen tank, it does that noise, that air hissing noise when we open it and when we close it. But yeah, the second thing you need to do once you've powered your ship up is take oxygen bottles and stick them in here. And see they fill up like that. If you do shift click, it just automatically fills them. And you don't want to put all your fuel tanks into the all your fuel pack things into your fuel tank, which is this, by the way, this like bluey glow thing, because then you might like run out of power. So you can see we have our power off, but if we press Y, we power it on, and we have 46 minutes of fuel, which sounds good. And yeah, so this is basically the equivalent of, I guess, an assembler from Space Engineers. But it's actually somewhat different because this thing it basically replaces both the assembler and the refinery from Space Engineers, if you know what I'm talking about, because it both refines ores and builds components. Which is one thing I like about this game. I like the way the crafting works in this game. It's rather nice. And then we got some bullets for our little projectile pistol, and this is a drill. What else we got in here? We have drill charges, we have a filler and flatten tool. I'm going to take a flashlight. I usually have my flashlight equipped to 3. See? Makes it easy. And then, what else? So I guess the first thing we should be doing is actually, if we go into this crate, we have all the resources, and you can click this arrow to take everything in the inventory. And I'm going to just put all these using shift click into that. I think the sound might be a little bit too loud. Let me just turn that down. Audio, turn that. Yeah, it's probably better, right? Now you can actually hear what I'm saying if I'm doing noisy stuff. So, these purple, like, pill-shaped things are promethium pellets. And promethium is, fuel. You can see there's a promethium deposit over there, which actually does not have a ton of promethium in it. I've been to it, I've mined it all out before in a world. But anyway, promethium pellets, you can just take just those, and turn them into fuel packs. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make as many as I can. I think it should be one of these for one of these, maybe? No, I was wrong. It's not. But the good thing is that once this runs out, this will go away, so we won't have to worry about that going, like, doing anything stupid. Okay, so now that we have that going, and we're going to have a lot more fuel than what we have, like there's 3 here, I'm going to take this oxygen generator, and I guess the rest of the fuel tanks. Yeah, I'm going to do the oxygen generator before I explain the plants and stuff, and the animals and things. Because I feel like that should be a thing I explain, otherwise you might end up dying on, like, the first day of playing. Anyway, so the way you build in this is if we go I to open our inventory and we put the oxygen generator on like number 4, for example, and then we want to put the oxygen generator in the water is what I've heard to get like the maximum amount of oxygen generation. We press T and then it says O2 source quality 80%. That's what it said when I put it up like on the in like semi-submerged over here in a different game I was playing. But it says off, and I first thought that you had to have it connected to a base, like in Space Engineers, you know, you have to have all your things connected to a base to give them power, like with a reactor and everything. But no, this thing, it actually, this is like a 3 device in one, because it not only generates oxygen, but it also has its own fuel storage area and like a generator in it. And you can see it has it looks like it has 48 minutes left. Next bottle is coming in like 110 seconds, and those are the blue oxygen bottles we were putting in the oxygen tank earlier, which is good, because we need oxygen. And by the way, I'm holding shift to sprint if you didn't know already. Regular walking speed is like this, and this is what you have to walk at if your stamina runs out, which is if you look at the bottom left, that purple bar is stamina. The blue bar is oxygen if you can't read it for some reason. The food is the green one, and health is red. I haven't really had much problems with health. So, the only time I really took that much health damage was when I got attacked by an alien parasite, and, when I was being shot at by a flying drone. So, you know, there's that. But anyway, let's check on our Promethium. Alright, we got 24 of these. Good. Alright, I'm gonna fill up this fuel tank. If we do shift, we can fill it up. Shift clicking with the fuel cells does not seem to work on the oxygen generator for some reason. I don't know why, but it doesn't. And, so yeah, I guess the first thing we should be working on is getting a base starter. And the base starter requires, if you look, you can't really see it because of the resolution I have to have it set at in order for me to be able to see, prevents the thing from, it makes the required items and info and stuff covered by this screen, which I think is kind of annoying. The 5:4 ratio is not quite complete, I guess. So the base starter requires 8 gray hull blocks, which are these, by the way. And it also requires 1 core, and if you're paying attention, over in I think this crate, the other one, you have a core. And if you look up at the top of the icon, you can see these like red, yellow, green, and blue things, and those are like the colors to indicate what you can put this on. So the red one means you can put it on a base. The yellow one means you can put it on a capital vessel. The green one means you can put it on a small vessel, which is like a little space fighter or something. And the blue one means you can put it on a ground vessel, which I guess would be like equivalent to a speeder from Star Wars. So, yeah, we need 1 of these to craft the base starter. Just put that in there. And just so you know, anything in the inventory can be used as a resource to build stuff. And whatever it builds, it also puts in the inventory of this thing. So, you know, it's like just draw from one place and put it in the other. It's kind of, it gets kind of messy when you have a lot of stuff, but it's a good system, I think, for what it is. So let's put those all up there. Why does that now have those? I don't understand. Oh, okay, that was weird. Maybe because I put it where the base core was. Anyway, so you can see the hull blocks require 2 metal plates to build each one, and metal plates are here, and they take input items 5 iron ingots, and I think these are the iron ingots, so yeah, we have a lot of those. We will run out. I have run out of those before. And we get 10 metal plates for each 5 iron ingots. So we only need to click this twice, and we should have enough to have. So does this? No, actually, it won't. Is my math right here? I don't know. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and find out. Okay, let's see what this does. So yeah, it takes one and then builds it, and then as it's going around, it's just building it, you know. And each item varies in time it takes to build. Some of them take quite a while, some of them don't. Like the base starter and things will take quite a while. And in this, I'll explain the deal up here. So this one is tools, weapons, and tools. So you get all different tools. You have all your, well, some of your like drill type tools, remove and repair, filler and flatten and drill. And then you have some basic weapons, a projectile pistol, an assault rifle, and a shotgun. I don't know why it doesn't show the names when I see it shows like color tool flashlight up there. But when I go to this one, it doesn't. If I scroll down though, it does. Shotgun. And you have your ammo for them, drill charge, filler and flatten charge, and remove and repair charge. And you need to use those to get these. And whatever you do, there's two things you don't want to run out of ever in this game. Make sure you have plenty. You don't want to run out of drill charges or fuel packs. If you run out of either of those, you're basically dead. There's no way for you to survive anymore, and that's it. And then you also have your .50 caliber bullets, which I think are the ones for the projectile pistol. You have the 6.8 millimeters, and then you have 12 GA shell things for your shotgun. And then here you have this regular building blocks, so like these are for your structure, or in this case for your base starter, which I'm going to click and go ahead and get that building. So you know you have your basic blocks. You have a cube, a slant, like a tetra, inverted tetra, and you have some rounded ones. And there's a couple different rounded corners, which is pretty cool. And then you have a ramp steep, which is like, it's basically just the same thing as this, but with a different texture, I think. And also you can only use them on large ships and stations. And then you have like a two-part ramp, and then you have this interior block and some windows, so you have that. And in here is where like you have all your components and things. So like when you get ores, you would go here to refine them into the ingots or powders or pellets. And then from there you can build all these things. And these things along here, yeah, like this, these along here are usually what most stuff is made of. And then also these things, sometimes, especially computers and stuff like that. In here we have all the systems and stuff for your ship or station or other thing, ground vessel. Also a portable work light, which we do have one in the crate. So you can build your cores from here. You can also build automatic doors, a large constructor which has more options, a lot more options. But the large constructor is for stations and ships. This one is for smaller ships, as you can see with the blue and green here and the yellow and red here. And then you got your lights and things, oxygen tanks and oxygen stations. These ones can only be put on smaller ships, as you can see here. Oxygen generator, and when they don't have any colors, that usually means either they're an item like this, or you can put them on the terrain. As you can see, placeable T, I'm guessing that's for terrain. On the little thing you can't really see, hidden behind the screen, it says, at the very bottom it says placeable, and that has a T. On these ones it'll have placeable GV or SV as ground vessels or small vessel, stuff like that. So I guess I've spent a lot of time in there, and it's getting late, so we should probably take our base starter we just built and go start our base. Oop, we need a filler and flattener though, and there is one in here. So we get the filler and flattener. Let's get some charges for them. I think that's all we need. Let's get the filler and flattener out. Onto the number 4, and you can see each little gun or weapon has its own little light on it, like a mini flashlight, but the actual flashlight is a brighter light, as you can see. So when you're digging or what is it? That's like one of that thing floating in midair is like one of these, but it's up there for some reason. That is odd. But yeah, so anyway, the way this thing works is if you right click, it will flatten out terrain, and if you left click, it will stop screaming at me. I'm recording right now. If you left click, it'll fill. I think that's the way it works. I could be wrong, but I think, oh yeah, left mouse button fill, right mouse button flatten. So yeah, let's right mouse button this a little bit, flatten up the terrain. It's kind of noisy. This is like the exact same spot I built my base for yesterday when I was testing out this game a little bit. So I know it's a good spot, I think I know it's a good spot, anyway. So, flatten this out a little bit. And let's call that good. I think we might have missed a couple spots, but it's okay. Put the base starter on our hotbar and we get this out, and you can see we make this like big cube thing. There we go, we did it. Alright, now In order to get up, we could put a ramp, but since I don't want to build a ramp right now because it'll take resources and stuff. I'm just gonna press J to turn my jetpack on. You can see at the bottom there's a little white bar, and it says on next to it, and then the jetpack, you know, a little area there. Press hold space, so you fly up a little bit. Yeah, you can take fall damage though. Apparently, I've never had that happen to me, but apparently it can happen. So be careful with that. And it recharges slowly, and you can't sprint while you have your jetpack on. So there's a couple limitations and stuff. But yeah. So. There's not really any danger at night. I think actually there is, but not like early on. You're probably fine walking around at night. I used to want to have my pistol out so that I feel protected, but I think it's probably fine with just your flashlight, holding your flashlight. I also like the sound it makes when you change weapons or something. Oh yeah, that thumping noise is because I ran out of stamina at the bottom. What is this? Fire moss scrappings. Oh, that is great. But yeah, let's fill up our oxygen real quick. Yep. And there we go. We're getting our stamina too. Alright, so while it's night, I might as well go ahead and explain the top right of the screen. And that is like your environmental status, I guess. So you can see there's a 28 degrees Celsius, or 26 degrees, sorry, not 28. 26 degrees Celsius, that's the temperature outside right now. Which I think is still pretty warm in Celsius, right? People who know Celsius, can you give me a confirmation on that? And next to that, you'll have a little picture of a sun and with the horizon and an arrow pointing up, so it's saying sunrise in, and the time next to it, counting down 10 minutes. So 10 minutes till sunrise. I think the days on this planet are 12 minutes long, which is kind of short, but again, that's like a minute to an hour, I guess, type thing. And then above that, I think that's the total amount of time you've been playing. I don't know if it's per session or what. You know, it could be either. So, what do we need next? On our base, we definitely need two things. A small generator and a small fuel tank. Oh, no, not small. We need a No, we need this one. See, red and yellow for base. So this one's going to be the easiest to build, so we're going to go ahead and get 4 electronics, I think it said. Metal components 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 cables. So, yeah. Easy enough to build. We'll go ahead and queue that up, and this will go along and do that. And, let's see. What else is there? At nighttime, we got our fuel tank building. This is actually the fastest I've gotten a base built. I guess we'll pick some of these, because these are useful later on. What did I do? Put my flashlight on. I used to put it away. But yeah, if you press T on these, you can collect these, and you get Alien Plasma ZR1. And that is used to make med kits in the food processor. Which I'll get to later. And I'll also get to actual food and ways to survive, because you don't want to die. So yeah, so that's those. I'm gonna put them in a cargo crate so I don't have to carry them. I don't think there's any limit to your inventory size unless I just haven't come across it yet, but I haven't actually found a limit as of yet. So yeah, you use this to make these along with purified water, which I'll get to later. But yeah, if you're running low on food and you're on this planet, I don't know about other planets, but I know on this planet, if I can find some, there is like a food source which grows out of the ground and can sustain you if I can find it. It might only grow near water. Let me see. I don't see anywhere. Is it? It's got to be somewhere around here somewhere, right? Oh, there's some. Oh, no, that's not it. That's just the alien plasma stuff. Ah, there. Here we go. So these are corn dogs. I'm not kidding. These are corn dogs growing out of the ground. This planet grows corn dogs. Welcome to America. But yeah, that doesn't restore a ton of food, but it could keep you sustained for quite a while if you don't have any other food sources. So yes, eat some corn dogs. You can see it restores a little bit of food. So what else is there? Oh, I'm out of stamina again. Also, food has perish time. Perish time can, I think, be like frozen or not. No. Yeah, well, you can freeze food basically in a refrigerator. So the perish time basically means that once the count gets to 0, the food turns into spoiled food, and you can no longer eat it, or maybe you can eat it, but I don't think it's good for you. I think it might give you food poisoning, which is bad. And then also, with the spoiled food, it does have a use. So if you do end up with a lot, don't throw it away. You will use it later. What's this? There's a lot of plants I haven't actually. Oh, you can't pick that, really? I would have thought you could pick that. Yeah, there's a lot of plants I haven't really figured out because I haven't been playing this game too long, but I have been playing it enough to figure out that those plants are edible. Yeah, this stuff is in this crate is like for growing plants, and you can see you can only put them on a base or a ship, which is pretty cool. We got a fuel tank. Yay! This generator is a lot more complex. First thing we should build is the capacitor device. I want to build the parts that are actually they take up different things, and that would be the capacitor device, reactor core, and computers. Let's build the capacitor devices first, and those require, that's this one, 3 more electronics, 1, 2, 3, 5 more meta components, or, well, I guess we could get 1, because that would make 5 there total. And then we can make 1 of these, but we actually need to have 2 of them, so we'll get 3 more electronics, I think it's 3 more cables, and 5 more of these. So, let's let that build, we should be able to get 2 of these, I hope. I hope I did that right, that math. Alright, what's next on the list of this thing? Our reactor core. Alright, that needs a motor, so we could build one of those, but let's finish this. It's gonna take a little bit of stuff. Let's let this finish before we get to work on other things, just in case it gets taken up in the queue or something like the components it thinks it can use to build something actually get taken up by something that's in the queue right now. Yeah, there's this plant fiber. I don't know what this is used for. It could be, I don't know, but I'm gonna pick it anyway. Let's stick it in there. Anyway, but yeah, it could get taken up by something in the queue and then not actually build, because we don't have a lot of stuff in here. We just got like a few pieces of stuff. Anyway, I guess I could show a little bit of mining, but we're kind of far away from the deposits of stuff. I won't show mining yet. I'll just keep surviving with the ship. A little bit of oxygen. Don't really need to fill up my oxygen right now, but why not? Oh, speaking of oxygen, let's go check our tank, or generator, not tank. So I'm not sure how long I'm gonna record for. I'm definitely gonna have to split it into multiple episodes because I'm not gonna be able to just record for 20 minutes and then stop recording because like this game is just too much fun for me to do that. Yeah. Let's go into the water and grab some of the oxygen tanks, which should no doubt have been generated by now. Yeah, we got 8 oxygen bottles, and we have 32 minutes left, so we have a half an hour left of fuel in that thing, which we will have to refuel it eventually, but we don't really have to worry about it right now. And we're out of stamina, so I guess we could just rest here and wait. So the only way to get the oxygen from your oxygen bottles is to actually go and put them in one of those oxygen tanks and stand next to an oxygen station. A lot of oxygen stuff. Let's go. We can do a little bit of running. Because you can't just like put them in your inventory and expect your suit to like suck it out of the bottle or into your suit or something like that. Okay, we're just gonna have to walk from here. I did have to do a lot of walking when I was playing earlier or yesterday because I kept running a lot and my stamina was always down. So I ended up having to do a lot of like walking because you can only sprint if you have stamina. And also, I just noticed the normal maps on this texture. I think it's the normals at least. Yeah, because like you can see this shaded area. It seems a little bit too extreme. It makes it a little bit hard to see in some areas. But you know, whatever. Oh, there's the moon. I think that's the moon anyway. Could be the ice planet because like I said, the map right now is not procedurally generated. It's just the parts, the different planets, and we don't have procedural generation, so that could be the ice planet because the planets are just fairly small and close together. So the motor needs 1 more electronic. We can build a motor for it. 3 pipes for it. Has the cables, which we should get 3 more just in case that uses them up. And then we need the electronics 3 and metal components 10. We can build a reactor core then. Alright, let's build. I'm just gonna sit here and watch it because that's what I've been doing. Well, actually, since I've been doing it, I should probably wait. Sunrise, and why am I not moving? That's better. What was that? That was odd. Sunrise in 3.5 minutes, so should be getting light soon, I think. Do the stars move across the sky? Nope. That's disappointing. Very disappointing. Alright, what's after the reactor core? 2 computers. And we need a control device. Alright, so it's not too hard. Let's let this build first, though, because we don't want to run out of stuff and then it just cancel. I've done that a couple times and it was confusing, so I don't want to do that. That base over there, I want to go explore. I think it's a base. It might be a crashed large ship, although I don't know if it is a crashed large ship, because when I was playing in creative mode, I took a giant capital vessel that they had pre-spawned and I tried to fly it into a planet, and I couldn't do it. It just killed me. And yeah, it said, it gave me a warning that said you can't fly capital vessels into planets, and then it said if you continue you will die, and I was just like, I'll survive re-entry, and then it just killed me. It wasn't like I died in re-entry. It just killed me and destroyed the ship instantly, which is kind of disappointing. I want to be able to, in this game, one thing that would be really cool is to be like in your vessel and like flying through space, and then suddenly you get caught in the gravity of a planet and you can't escape, and you're just falling down to a planet and you crash and you have to like re-survive all over again, you know, like this. This is an escape pod, by the way. If I haven't, I know I've mentioned it, but I'm just saying, like, I guess the lore is that you were in a spaceship going at like hyperdrive or whatever, and then there was an accident and you had to eject an escape pod and you landed here. Oh, good. We got the whatever it was we were making, reactor core. Oh no, we didn't. What are we missing? 3 pipes. I thought I made 3 pipes. Oh, we don't have stuff to make 3 pipes. We're missing metal plates. What? Let's make some more of those then, and we can make another pipe, and then we can make a reactor core. It's gonna take a while. In the meantime, we should probably work on getting food, because that's one thing we're not gonna be able to live on corn dogs forever, you know. So, all right, one way to get food early on is to hunt. Sort of. I mean, you have to have a food processor to actually get, like, nutritional, well, not nutritional, but, like, food that's not going to poison you. Actually, no, let's not do hunting right now, because that requires a food processor. Right now, we should work on, how about, maybe farming? We can make corn. But maybe we can, I think we can probably just eat raw corn, why not? Sounds reasonable, right? So let's go. Oh, dang it, we have to walk again. I wish there was some way to increase your stamina. Maybe I'm carrying something that's heavy? Oh, maybe this. What's the mass? Ooh, 3 tons. So yeah, maybe that is what's making me lose my stamina so fast. I don't know. Why do I want to go put it on the base so I don't have to carry it, but like, at the same time I want to come over here and I'm closer to here. This happens to me a lot, going back between the escape pod on the base. I end up like wanting to go back or something like that. Maybe I'll just make this episode as like a pilot episode really long. Let's turn it off and on again. Remove that. Yeah, you can only remove these when it's off, which is weird. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay, let's add a pipe, add a reactor core, and that should get us a reactor core for our reactor that we need to build. When I was initially building the reactor on the base when I was first playing, it took me forever. It took me so long because I was like going through the list like straight down instead of going for the things that require more components first, because I didn't know what required more components than the other things. I just thought like maybe it was like Space Engineers where you take resources and you can build anything from it. One of these, 2 of these for the computer. We actually need 2 computers, so we get 2 more of those. And we might as well get some more of these, just in case. And we can build 2 computers, and then after that, we should probably build the rest of the things for this. No, we'll build these first. Let it build just so we have the stuff we need. Alright, we don't need our flashlight anymore. Nice! These plants are weird because they move. Look at this. Look at this. Alien Plasma T6. Weird. You can't pick this thing, but it looks like a weird scorpion tail. I don't know what this is. But it vanishes when you shoot it. Weird. Weird stuff. Alright, let's see if we... What is that? Is that a rock? I don't think there's any way to crouch in this game. I wish there was. I guess I'll pick up a rock. It's like a terrain rock. Okay, we can build computers. Come on, let's get to it. Build them. It's gonna take a while, isn't it? Let's go back to the base and put down that fuel cell like I was talking about.